In the previous sections, we have looked at how our persistent part identifier resolves to a master record and how that record accumulates information over time. But to understand how identity really behaves in a factory, we need to explore nesting. Nesting describes how parts relate to one another and to the containers, kits, or assemblies they move through. Across space and time, a single part almost never travels alone. It is usually placed in a box, loaded onto a trolley, grouped with other parts, or created into a kit or sub-assembly. These relationships matter because they shape how we interpret the part's life cycle. There are two fundamentally different types of nesting. First, physical nesting, the dynamic, real-world structure of material. Physical nesting is situational. It reflects how parts are grouped for logistics, handling, or movement. Examples include part A is placed in a box of 12. Box 12 is loaded into a trolley of 4. Trolley 4 is staged in buffer area B. Importantly, these relationships are temporary, operationally driven, not predefined, and subject to change at any moment. Physical nesting forms a hierarchy that probably looks something like this: part, box, trolley, buffer, transport vehicle. What makes physical nesting important is not the physical container itself, but the association event. When a PPI is scanned into a box of 12, the system record does these things: which container the part joined, when it joined, who performed the action, and where it occurred. This allows the part's location to be inferred even when the part is not individually visible. If the trolley moves, all parts nested beneath it move implicitly. This is extremely useful for bulk movement, scanning efficiency, reducing touch points, understanding material flow. But importantly, physical nesting can change frequently, so it must be recorded through transactional events, not static definitions. The next area is configurational nesting, and this is the engineered structure of kits and assembly. Configurational nesting is the opposite of physical nesting. It is predefined, repeatable, engineer controlled, and tied to the product structure. Examples of this include Kit 301 always contains parts A1, A2, and A3. Subassembly 42 always requires 4 bolts of type B47. A repair kit comes with a standard consumable bundle. This type of nesting aligns perfectly to bill of materials, manufacturing process plans, engineering change orders, configuration control documentation. Configurational nesting is not an operational convenience. It is an engineering requirement. Where physical nesting answers, where is this part right now? Configurational nesting answers, what should this part be grouped with? Both are essential, but they serve different purposes. Now let's look at how PPIs allow nesting relationships to be expressed cleanly. A PPI acts as a stable identity anchor with both nesting types. In physical nesting, the PPI attaches the part to a transit container. In configurational nesting, the PPI attaches the part to engineered structures. The system doesn't need to understand the container or kit as the identity. It only needs to capture events for physical nesting, definitions for configurational nesting. These become part of the part's lifecycle narrative. Nesting and inference nesting also plays a major role in lifecycle inference. For example, if a trolley is scanned into a storage location, all parts nested beneath it inherit the inferred location. If a kit is released to assembly, all constituent PPIs share that process state. If a box is quarantined for inspection, all PPIs nested inside it inherit the quality disposition. This is how our identity structure begin to drive meaning, not because the identity changed, but because the relationship changed. Why this matters intellectually. Nesting reveals a deeper truth about PPIs. Identity is not only the part itself, it is about the part's relationship to other objectives over time. By modeling nesting explicitly, we elevate the understanding of lifecycle from simple location tracking to a multi-layered hierarchical interpretation of the material environment. And this is what forms the conceptual bridge to advanced traceability, digital twins, and AI-driven material flow.